There's always like an angry guy that's like 5'3", and he's like, sorry, man, I can't see. And I'm like, oh, dude, my bad, man. You know, pick him up, put him in front of me.
Pick him up? Like he's a toddler?
Bro, I got you. Like
I got you.
Bro, I stand with my short community.
I stand with my... You can't. You gotta sit crisscross applesauce with the short community.
I'm excited to announce a super cool partnership for This Isn't My Degree. Welcome to Riverside Chats, powered by Riverside.fm. While this podcast is based out of my studio in St. Louis, I have a lot of creator friends that are not based out of this city. I have friends in Chicago, New York, LA, Atlanta, Houston, so many other places that I want to have conversations with and maintain the level of audio and video quality that you guys have come to expect from this podcast, and just the level of quality with the conversations as well. That's why I'm excited to partner with Riverside, because I can maintain said quality, because all the files are recorded locally. So if my internet for whatever reason gives out, the podcast is still going. We can still keep the show going and the questions going, and we're not going to miss a beat. There are also a lot of powerful tools like AI transcriptions as well as clip editors. So that's going to help me smooth out my workflow. And I got to tell you, the results are pretty cool. You're going to see in the coming weeks how it looks, but anything that helps me smooth out my workflow and produce more content and higher quality content is honestly just good for you, because that's going to free up my bandwidth so I can just be a better podcast host. And even if you're not a podcaster, you can host meetings, conduct interviews, have guest panel speakers. You don't have to be a podcast to see the benefit of Riverside. Because when it comes to partnerships and sponsorships, I want to be very picky about what I put in front of my audience. And if I don't see the value in it, I'm not going to choose that and promote that. In the coming weeks, you're going to see episodes that are produced with Riverside. And I'm excited to show you guys the content because I'm very happy with how everything turned out. It's super cool. And the conversations, the topics, the short form clips, like I said, this thing, if I didn't see the value in it, I wouldn't be promoting it. This segment's going to continue to grow and improve. Like literally, I want to sit by a river and have Riverside chats that are centered around social media topics. But we're going to hold off until next episode for that. So let's get into the episode with Braden, who is a creator based here, actually not just in St. Louis, but here in the studio with me. So you're about to see us sit right there. And let's get into it. This is my degree. As you can see, it is really, really tattered now. Oh, wow. I just hit the mic. Wow. It's terrible. This is my degree. My overly tattered, beat up degree. Do you see how crappy that is? You see the oh my god.
Wait, dude.
This is the most chaotic episode ever. I can't even get through the intro, bro.
Dude, what just happened?
This is my degree. God, this is my. This isn't my degree. Welcome to the. That did it. You see that? That throw did it.
Dang.
Wait, can you pick it up?
Yeah, we're going to have to get you more adult books, because these kid books, they're not holding down the table.
Oh, yeah, that did it. Oh, that did it right there. That toss, the inside of the degree is actually separating from the actual case. I've done it.
Dude, wow.
Oh, it's separating. Should I just go ahead and do the honors? It's already coming apart.
It's been devalued. I mean, once Canva came out, your degree became pointless, and now
degree
that piece of
destruction
paper is
ASMR. For those of you that have tuned in to both the audio and the show, this guy is not new. We did a live episode actually right out this window. I'm not even kidding. It's right there. But for those of you that don't know, who are you?
My name is Braden. New year, new me. So this is going to be a different version of the podcast.
What?
Oh, sorry, BradenSTL.
Anytime somebody says that, I get scared, because that's a preface for what?
I mean, it could be a preface for what's to come in the next few weeks. That's, taking years to get here. That on the next time, a few months down the road when I'm on your podcast again, maybe, hopefully, kind of, that I can talk about.
What is going on right now?
I have no idea. Okay.
I'm confused.
So
okay,
the intro.
This guy is a content creator, a foodie, a vlogger. Actually, you were influencer of the year.
Yes, 2022.
Yeah, voted influencer of the year. That's a pretty big title.
It is, especially when I came into this not even wanting to really be an influencer.
Yeah.
I'm just I live in a really cool city, and I'm let me hype it up and show people that. And it was at a time where that wasn't the norm. Back in the day, right? 2020. which was just a few years ago. And so
The whole panorama thing.
yeah, born and raised here in St. Louis. I've always seen the potential. It's a great city full of a lot of great people that are trying to, bring us to times, bring us up to the times. But we also deal with a lot of stuff that keep us behind of the New York. Excuse me. I feel like I'm all over the place. Behind the New York. This is the 4th time we recorded a podcast. We've only used one, and even that one time was so chaotic.
Yeah, no, you and I have actually recorded, 4 times now? Like, not even.
Never used them.
None of them have seen the internet. I know they exist somewhere. Like, the files are still out there of us recording a podcast in the previous studio, but now they don't. The difference this time around is the fact that I have actually intentionally put my camera up higher so that I appear taller. And if you look on your camera, you actually look way shorter. Because this guy, all right, our recent beef, he has been roasting me because I'm 5'9", which if you Google right now, hey, what's the average height of a man in the US? It's 5'9". Nothing remarkable. No, you want to go there?
Nah,
Mr. freaking
I don't want to be
sequoia tree.
I've never wanted to be average, so why would I settle at the average height
for men? About 5 feet 9 inches tall. My height.
So I've been out of the dating scene for a very, very long time, since the year like Twitter came out. Back in the day, I guess it's X now.
Rest in peace, Twitter.
But I heard like women, they like guys that are taller than 6 foot. So whenever you were on those apps, did you lie? Did you wear those like shoes?
Did I lie? No, I owned it. Whenever before I found my girlfriend, I was like, yeah, no, I didn't like call it out. I wasn't like drawing attention, like, yeah, I'm 5'9", short king. I'm not like Cody Ko.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna, like, what am I supposed to do? How am I gonna hide that? I don't understand when dudes lie about their height on dating apps and stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm 6 foot. Like, I see these like TikToks and stuff that people are like, yo, what's your height, bro? And then they're like, yeah, I'm 6 foot. And he's like, I have a tape measure. Can I find out? And they're like, no.
Is that real?
It's real. It's real. Like, that's actually content that exists.
Where do you think that insecurities came from of height?
Probably because we get a lot of shit for being quote unquote short. There's nothing wrong with being 5'9" or below. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, most of the pants they sell in stores are made for you guys.
Yeah, like you can find clothes anywhere. Like I could go to Target right now. The like 5 racks that they have for men in Target, I can actually utilize. You
can't.
No, you have nothing there.
Oh, and then there's always like the people that like, oh, you can go to big and tall. And I was like, listen, you said big and tall. I am very skinny and tall. And it's still hard to find pants.
Do you ever get tired of people asking you what the weather is like up there?
I think they only ask because they want to get on my level.
That was like the most Kanye LeBron answer I've ever heard in my life.
Nah, I don't get it. I get asked that more by like old people, the well-lived people.
Yeah. How's the weather up there?
Yeah, and it's like, oh,
I don't know why like we default to a hoarse voice when we're talking about like old people voices.
Yeah,
most of them don't even sound like that.
I used to work in a nursing home. A lot of them do.
Oh, okay. Well,
because you gotta think
the intel,
especially if they were like a singer. You know, their voices are so like raspy.
Yeah,
but
it's got swag to it. So you worked in a nursing home before you became a content creator?
So back in the day, I worked in a nursing home. I was in the dietary department. I used to do the dishes. You know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, this is like
dietary makes me think like you're back there like, oh yeah, we got to make sure they get their macros hit. We're whipping up the meals.
That's all those other. They like I scooped out the serving size.
Oh.
But I always made sure there was enough for me to try some of the food too. You know.
Okay. He's a growing boy. If you can't tell.
Growing boy, dude. I'm 6. I've peaked at 6'5".
I don't know that.
How many times? Okay.
You could hit puberty again. I don't know.
At what age did you stop getting pinches for your birthday? Because you know how they say a pinch to grow.
Bro, my birthday's coming up and I still plan on getting a pinch. All right.
Maybe next year.
You know what's crazy is like up until senior year of high school, I think I was like 5'7". And then senior year is whenever I grew to 5'9". I was like a little twig. I looked like a mixed Harry Potter. And then like my voice was higher like this. And then all of a sudden I turned into this, what you see today.
you just like do 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 do. Boo.
Yeah, I like plateaued. I like grew through middle school and like early high school, and then I just stopped. And then I discovered facial hair one day, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm real."
And then you went from 5'9" to 5'9.5" with the curls up
yeah,
top.
bro. Whenever I do the curls, sometimes if I'm like, "Damn, I could be 5'10" today," I just go.
Gets the haircut. All right, we all right. You go,
get a haircut and I lose height.
So whenever you're like waiting to get your license, your driver's license.
Oh, bro, I poofed the hair up. I
you
poofed
poof
the
it
hair
up?
Oh yeah.
Oh dang.
Yeah, no, that there was one of them that said 5'10".
See, I get haircuts just because it's so inconvenient. Because there's always that person like, oh, I can't reach up there, and they're trying to like push it up the wall.
So you're like, damn, I need to look 6'4" today.
I'm like, oh, no, yeah, I gotta look 6'4". But yeah, I think I'm 6'4 3/4.
What? I thought you were 6'5".
Well, with the hair.
Why are you lying about your height? What?
It's because I'm trying to get drafted by the NBA. That's how you do it. Like on paper, I'm 6'9". If you meet me in person, I am 6'5". For those who are listening, you're listening to two people with substantial height differences that get along. Like we can talk about good stuff on this podcast.
Why are you insinuating that people that are different heights don't get along? like there's an ongoing beef.
For some reason, never mind. There's some people that are so mad, like that I'm tall. I'm like, who cares? I'm tall.
Why? Do people like get aggressive with you?
They just seem
Do
mad.
you like trigger fight or flight in people?
Man, like sometimes I'm not like, okay, I'm at a concert just like everybody else. I'm having a good time. I'm innocently standing there, but I just don't see the people behind me. And I'm like, oh, I apologize. But then there's like this, like an angry guy that's like, man,
wait, no, wait. Well, I gotta hear. I'm interested now.
There's always like an angry guy that's like 5'3", and he's like, sorry, man, I can't see. And I'm like, oh, dude, my bad, man. You know, pick him up, put him in front of me.
Pick him up? Like he's a toddler?
Bro, I got you. Like
I got you.
Bro, I stand with my short community.
I stand with my. You can't. You'll see above everybody. Yeah, you gotta kneel. You gotta sit crisscross applesauce, bro. With the short community.
I'm not gonna lie though. Like when I go to concerts, especially if it's like an outdoor one, it could be dark out there, and I will have sunglasses on and a hat, and somehow someone will send me a photo of me, and it's like a head above the rest. And
look how tall you are. I'm surprised you don't just like see moonlight. I'm sure like you don't need night vision. You just see.
Fair, yeah. Fair.
It's bright up there.
Yeah, it is. It is bright. Hanging out with the stars.
I hate this. I hate that he has bars about this. Have you rehearsed this?
No,
Have you been waiting for this?
No, dude. I got 8 hours of sleep last night.
This wasn't even the script for the episode, by the way. This is all just freestyle.
Yeah, I drank 3 cups of coffee today. Remember?
Yeah, it was probably cold by the time it got to your stomach, huh?
Damn, that was a good one.
Yeah, I got jokes too. Come on now.
All right, what do you guys talk about on this podcast?
What do you talk? Okay,
I
we share a
seen
studio space. So quite literally, he has been here for so many recordings. He's seen it on our television that we broadcast podcast crap 24 hours. Not 24 hours. It's not like you can pop in and be like, yeah, I'm going to watch some podcasts. This isn't like a movie theater.
Bro, Taylor Swift did a whole concert thing, like tour.
I do not want that in here.
Please
don't do that with people screaming and twirling and dancing. What we're saying on the podcast. I don't need people bringing in fake degrees and weaponizing them in here. I don't need that.
Dang, that yeah.
That's scary. All right.
You know, people could watch this and just like start taking our jokes. Like, what if we like go on TikTok 3 months from now and someone's saying the exact same thing we just said?
You know,
I guess that does happen all the time.
This is actually a really good segue into a topic I've been thinking about that's been on my mind for a while. I think we need to raise the price of podcast equipment. Because too many people just be yapping.
I agree.
You know, it's just, I think we need to raise the price of podcast equipment because too many people are yapping. Too many people. I saw 3 people this week say, I started a podcast. And it's like, what's it about? It's just me talking and hanging out.
With who?
Just by themselves. I'm like, bro, you got to have substance. This episode, I'll be honest, the substance is us roasting each other for height. But we're both content creators, And we'll get into that in a minute. I talk with content creators on This Isn't My Degree. I throw the most valuable thing I own, and it is disintegrating. And like, that's why my podcast is special.
They should sponsor this. Like, what if they give you a whole
Do
nother
you really
one for?
think they're gonna look at this and be like, "Wow, that's an excellent candidate for for sponsorship"?
I'll give you my Lindenwood one. Excuse me, my Lindenwood.
Oh yeah, you have a freaking master's.
Yeah, and we're not talking about golf. Boom, bars. Okay, yeah. So I do have a master's.
When's the freestyle? Because let's be real, in every content creator character arc, you drop a mixtape or some type of album eventually. Every content creator becomes a musician at some point. When is yours coming? Because clearly you have the bars.
Thank you. I know you've had Finnegan on the show.
Yeah,
Good-
in
good
that exact chair, actually.
Yeah, good friend, good person. He's in music, you know, so it does seem like I know Colin. He's been on the show. He's done it.
Yeah.
Has Josh?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think Josh has done it yet.
You know, it's funny. I have the connections. I could probably put on a concert.
Would you have gone to Nelly's music college when it was around?
I mean, that would have been pretty cool. He had Vocal, he had the music college, and he had Pimp Juice. That would have been the place to be in
It would have
the
been the place to be.
mid-2000s, yeah.
I feel like we don't talk about that enough in St. Louis.
We don't.
There was a whole like college from Nelly to get started in music. It was Extreme Institute. It was from Vatterott College, and they cut ties in 2018.
I really don't know how to respond to this.
Did you know about this?
I didn't, no.
Really?
Nah, man.
Nelly had a whole partnership with Vatterott College, and there was like an educational program for upcoming musicians.
Do you think he just sponsored it so it said Nelly's School of Music, or do you think he was actually part of it? I guess
I'm not sure.
We'll find out. I'll have him on my podcast.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Like
Yeah.
he'll be here eventually.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like, but no, there was a whole educational program, like a whole institute, and it was like all over the Midwest.
So I don't think I have the music gene in me, but then again, there is auto tune.
Bro, there's a lot of people that don't have the music gene in them. I'm not
That
gonna
is
drop
so
names
real.
because fan bases might go crazy. And I'm trying not to get canceled yet.
Yeah,
I have to make it before I get canceled.
I think if I were to get in any genre, it would be country.
Going down the South Road in
Bro.
my rusty old Chevy,
Yeah,
big black Chevy, going by the tractor.
but yeah. So if I were to get in any genre, it'd be country. Whenever I went to school in Southwest Missouri, it was all country, right? 8 out of 10. But it's like literally, if I come up with like 10 songs, I can perform those songs for the next 20 years. I can grow my
that's
fan
so
base.
true.
They're gonna play the same songs on the radio. I'm gonna end up in stadiums, and it's literally the same 10 songs. And I just gotta add maybe one song every other year. Bam.
You really do just like have a feature.
Dude, they have
on
it figured
somebody.
out. And I don't have to dance.
That's true. You just have to like sway.
Yeah. I get cut off shirt so I don't have to look like,
Have some guy with the
look-
banjo.
dude.
You gotta have another one with a harmonica. You can even like get away with somebody that's just doing the triangle
Yeah.
and call it the acoustic.
I would say I think it'd be
Going
neat
down
if I
the
learn
South Road.
the guitar. I think that would be neat.
Hitting up the barn, drinking some real beer, and
Stitching up with some yarn.
oh shit, we got sweater knitting in the building.
Hey,
Okay.
we're out here
Hashtag Instagram threads.
on this podcast.
Are you about to interview me?
Yeah, no, I actually thought about it for a second. Like, tell me about it.
All right. Well, here, let me let me get in character for being interviewed. I'm ready.
Nah, I ain't gonna bring that up.
What is this guy on? What is this guy on? You know what? Funny story. I think I bought these. No, I bought these from Foot Locker. I went to Foot Locker to go pick up these Blazers, these Nike Blazers. I love Blazers. They're great. Timeless shoe. All right. I go to pick these up. The guy is like, "Oh, you're here to pick up these Blazers?" I didn't know people still wore Blazers.
But,
And I'm like, I didn't know people still work at Foot Locker.
ooh.
Don't diss the Blazer. The Blazer is a timeless shoe, and it is. I mean, wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? It goes with everything.
Yeah, no, I would have hit him back like, aren't you supposed
Bro.
to be the one that knows about fashion? Like, bro,
Yeah,
like,
what? It's like, I'm sorry, that's a weird way to say that you're out of the loop. Like,
I mean,
you should have kept that in here.
Yeah, Foot Locker and Florissant. Bro, that was Shoe Carnival. Come on, man.
Oh, there is a shoe carnival in Florissant. It's over by that Schnucks and that Barnes and Noble, and that's where went to high school. Do you think that question's outdated?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I think it's perfectly acceptable to ask somebody, like, let's say, okay, you just got out of high school.
Yeah.
You're off at college, or maybe like probably like up to like 19 or 20. But it's just like, that's some, I don't know. That's just a weird question to ask people. And it's like fun when people come from other cities. They move to St. Louis and people, what high school you go to? It's just so,
It's weird.
it's weird.
It's
like
tacky.
I've legitimately gone to several colleges, and we can talk about that. But it's like, I don't know. It's just, and you can't mention that. If you share this as a short, I am perfectly fine, because that is like,
Thank you for the consent.
yeah, this is my consent. But like it just needs to be retired, man. Like
I agree.
People
though.
get offended by like, if like I look at people like, huh, the high school. Like, I'm 32 years old, and you're still asking me that. Like, what area of town do you live in? Like, it's so weird.
It's like, Doug, you're 54.
Yeah.
Why are you concerned with where I went to high school? Oh, I know you went to state for tennis. Okay. I know you went. It was great. You were JV. Okay. But why does that matter now? You have a mortgage. You have kids that are actually in college. They're past the high school phase. Where did they go? You know, like, why are you asking me? Why is that relevant to right now?
There is more to your life
Like,
than
sir,
your high
this
school.
is a self-checkout at Deerberg's. Why are we talking about high school?
Is
I'm
that-
literally just here to get a Gatorade.
Is that how you plug your sponsors like that?
I wish that was a freaking sponsor. Deerberg's. Let's have a conversation. But no, dude, it's like it's the most weird venues that you get asked that too.
Yeah, it's just how I get taken back, because like, you know, I'm used to people talking like, hey, what's your favorite place to eat, or what do you have coming up? And then someone's like you just meet them, hey, it's nice to meet you. How are you doing? And it's like, what high school you went to? And it's like, it's so confusing. They're like,
I went to South City and I went here.
Well, I just want people
And
to
they're
know
like-
there is more to them than the high school they went to. Like, I had a great time, man. I was like, was it like homecoming king, class clown? I don't know how
You were homecoming king?
Yeah, like. So I had a good
What
time.
the hell?
Dude, I had a great time. In
I
high
was
school.
class clown.
I got that too, but I was like, I've never.
Oh, sorry. This is just my crowning achievement is just another one of your accolades.
Bro, it's Kaden and I were just talking about all these like professional designations I have, and I'm like, yeah, all those certificates, all those professional designations are all in like the little like the container, and they're
Yeah.
like,
I hate this guy. This guy, I'm never having him back on the podcast again. He came here just to one up.
no, I can't even find my
He's
degree.
taller.
I can't find
he's
my master's
funnier,
degree.
and he's homecoming king.
This is
This is
degree.
yours. Now that's your degree. Congratulations.
Thank you. Handshake, right?
No, we can't. We
Oh,
yesterday we had Caden, who is currently over here. Dapped up Caden. It was crisp. He did the same. Crisp. When we went to do that,
bro. It sounded like
it sounded like. And then there's this guy walking in the restaurant. He's actively he did a drive-by laugh at us.
bro. He like looked like.
Yeah, he looked and he's like, he did the shoulder laugh. Like,
I was like,
you know
dang.
when like you try to keep it, and your body's just like, no, we got to let the people know we're laughing.
Do you think that's how it is when J. Cole and Drake shake hands on stage? Oh man, yeah, that was like the worst handshake.
It was bad. It was
I
like
feel like we both
limp.
was like after we shook hands with Caden, like,
Caden like ran away. He was like, I don't even know
bro,
these guys.
I
He didn't want to be
looked at
seen
you,
with us.
I looked at you and I was like, oh, don't fuck this up. And then we just, it was,
That's what I think. That's what did it. Is the fact that we
We
both
knew
looked at
it.
each other and we knew that we couldn't fuck it up, and I think that put too much pressure on us, and we just fucked it up beyond recovery, like to the point that it was a public embarrassment.
and somebody saw it. So shout out to him. I hope he's listening.
I hope you had a good meal. You went to
Yeah.
a good restaurant. We were at Corner 17. You went to a good restaurant. Yeah, I hope you had a good meal.
Good meal, yeah.
You got a little bit of entertainment before you even got through the door. But I'm also sorry that you had to witness that, because like I still haven't recovered, because that was the most, like with Caden, it was boom, and then another one, boom, and then ours was
Would you rather get canceled or uninvited to the barbecue?
give me cancel. Give me cancel. Don't uninvite me. If you uninvite me, that's just like, that cuts it deep. You were there, but then you did something that made the council revoke your invitation.
Yeah, because like if you get canceled, there's always an audience for you. You're just canceled in front of like the media eye or like the front, like, you know, you're probably not gonna be seen here and there, but you're still selling out tickets.
The council will probably still like shun you.
Uninvited to the barbecue.
Uninvited is bad. Uninvited is bad.
I'd be moving out to Wentzville at that point.
You have to. You have no choice. Either Wentzville or Fenton. That's all. Those are your two options at that point.
I'll go to Fenton and open up a food truck factory or something. A food truck garden.
Food truck factory.
A food truck garden. That's what. If I ever got uninvited, that's where I'm going.
We need a roller rink in Forest Park.
I mean, that's kind of what they're doing with Steinberg, I think.
I saw like they were like talking.
Do you even know how to skate?
Yes. What?
I don't. Bro, I'm like a giraffe on that. You're like over here like a...
Yeah, I could see that. I could see you being like, whoa, and then like have those cartoon sound effects. They're like, woo.
Hey, Toys R Us, hire your boy. I'm just saying. Sponsored by...
You're the new mascot?
Yeah, for Toys R Us.
You're the new Jeffrey?
Yeah.
They spelled that really white, though.
What?
With Geoff.
Oh, Joffrey.
Yeah, I'm like...
Yeah. All right, so... yo, shout out to Caden. Hopefully people are entertained...
You know, Caden and I actually did like podcast style clips before the podcast was even a thing. We did like the tier lists and the draft picks.
We got to bring that back.
We do have to bring that
Caden,
back.
and don't forget about my podcast, y'all. If y'all want
his podcast, he already has enough. Okay, he got the homecoming. Did you get prom king too?
No, my best friend got that. We established early on, like, hey, you go for this one, I'll go for that one. I wanted the homecoming king because the whole school voted for that. The prom was just for the people that went there. I wanted everybody to vote. And do you ever go to concerts with a stepladder?
No, I actually have somebody put me on their shoulders, so then I like wave around like a baby. Yeah. One time I held a helium balloon just to like get a little bit of levitation over the crowd.
My guy's out here living the up life just to see in public.
I am. That was based on a true story. My life.
Of Dante.
Yeah, up is actually my life.
So on this podcast, is it? Do you usually have these No, actually, you know what? You are like right now. I would compare this to that like Oprah Winfrey, Barbara Walters. Who else have like groundbreaking interviews? Whoever those people, because people don't see me like this usually.
That's true. Nobody sees this side of Braden. See, this is the sign of an excellent interviewer, is whenever you get somebody to open up and talk about some real shit that they don't talk about on other shows, okay? He's trying to keep it together because he knows it's true, all right? What we're doing here is revolutionary.
And if I was a company, I would sponsor that. Like, man, we gotta get more Braden on Dante's podcast. We gotta start sponsoring.
It's not that hard. It's a pretty simple concept.
It's just
look at what I sacrificed to make this. Do you see the sacrifice here? This is a representation of so many sleepless nights.
Editing this podcast.
Editing. Well, I guess during this, I was editing really shitty YouTube videos. Like the videos I made whenever I was still getting this, terrible. Not even on the internet anymore. They're gone.
You were embarrassed. Like, or did you archive it?
They're archived. I have like, I remember my iMac only had like 256 gigs of memory. So I bought an external hard drive to like export my videos to, and it was awful because it was like one of those old-fashioned ones that would take forever. So I still have it. I don't know if it still works because, like, you know how those go bad after like 5 years. I don't know if it still works, but I like to think that it does because that's where all the old exports are at.
I feel like one day you'll be able to sell that for a lot of money, so make sure you preserve it.
Yeah, I'll sign it. I need to make like a backup of it because I have probably 10 of those just for YouTube.
So if I sponsored your podcast, I could put like a sticker right here, right?
If you sponsor the podcast, we don't even need to have this here. Like that could be gone. This could be all you.
So if you're watching, you're listening to this, and you want to sponsor BradenSTL, make sure to do that because
no, this is my podcast. I don't know where he's getting that from. This is original Dante's podcast. He has his own. Okay, go to his. I'll float his logo over his face right now. That's where you can find his crap. This right here. This is original Dante. This is mine.
What do you think the retention time on this episode is going to be?
Probably honestly, I feel like this is going to either be the best or the worst. Because I ask a lot of questions about content and creation, and I have other influencers on here. But this is unhinged and completely off the script. We haven't even talked about what you even do.
That's right. So,
except for like 3 adjectives that I threw out 40 minutes ago.
As I was saying, my name is BradenSTL, born and raised here in St. Louis.
Did you catch that? He just code switched. He just code switched right back to PR.
Oh yeah, man. It's yeah. There's no PR training in this interview. No, I create a lot of digital content. Really just, it's fun. Like, why not live life, create it? Been in the corporate world for a long time, you know, and your creativity and your ideas, they get crushed. And so if you create for yourself, you know, and I know that it's been many years in the making, but it's very fun, but it's a lot of work. Get your elevator music on. You're lucky I don't cuss.
I was actually singing a very sad song that they put on PETA commercials.
Some Sheryl Crow, home of, what is it? She's the queen of Kennett, Missouri.
Really?
Yeah, or like the hometown. They like when you drive in, like, you know, like hometowns, they always have like that one thing. They're like small, I say hometowns, small towns. Like in St. Louis, we're like, oh, the Arch. And then other people know Nelly before they know the Arch.
That's true.
Kennett, Missouri, home of Sheryl Crow.
You know what? People sleep on Missouri. We have a giant, I'm going to say this about the Arch. It's a giant half of McDonald's logo with no color. It's great. Okay. Mm-hmm. Kansas City, the city of fountains, and apparently the city of Taylor Swift. St. Joseph, Missouri, Eminem is from there. Did you know that? Did you know that? He moved to Detroit, but he was born in St. Joseph, Missouri.
How many fountains are in Kansas City, though?
Apparently a lot, but I'm going to be honest. Every time I've been, I haven't seen a lot.
I haven't seen a lot. Just on the...
In Springfield.
Yeah.
There's millions of tons of cheese.
No, that's Osceola, Missouri.
Where? Okay. What's this? Since apparently you know so much about this, you well-traveled Missourian. What's the deal with the tons of cheese that are buried in caves in Missouri?
Probably preservation.
Why do you need that much cheese? You know?
I really don't. I have no answer for that.
I need to know the thought process here. Why is there so much cheese buried in caves in Missouri? Why does that exist? What are we saving that for? Is that like some rich person's like stockpile? Like they're waiting? Like, man, if the apocalypse comes up, hey, at least I got cheese. You need sharp cheddar, Gouda, maybe a little bit of Parmesan. But they don't got Provel though.
I mean, it's like if you watch season 1, episode 4 of The Walking Dead, you see that there's a need for that. Because if, like you said, if we're in
so specific of a reference.
Yeah, like if you're ever in a situation where you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, but you know that there's a good chance of food in the cave.
Just gonna eat cheese for the rest of your life.
Yeah, make that cheese.
Make that
cheddar.
Why does he have bars?
What was that thing called where they like took away the alcohol?
Prohibition.
Yeah. The prohibition of cheese.
The prohibition of cheese. Outlaw cheese?
I don't know, bro. I mean, you see where the
like. No, wait a minute. Wait.
Have you seen the way Missouri thinks?
We have overlooked a key thing here. What if a rat finds out?
What if Master Splinter?
What if Master Splinter's hiding?
Came to Missouri.
Probably already has.
I mean, with the film credits.
How do we verify that it's still there?
True.
Like, do they have security on payroll to guard this cheese? Well, Mr. Beast cannot find out about this because then he's gonna be like, I bought a cave full of cheese, and he's gonna give it away to some random person.
How long does cheese last for?
Correct me if I'm wrong, internet, but I believe as long as it is properly like cased and like there's a curing on the outside of like salts and stuff, theoretically, like it could last forever because the molds actually could be beneficial for the cheese.
Interesting.
I'm not a cheesemonger, but I think that's the case. I think that's why like you have Parmesan and stuff that's like hundreds of years old.
You know, they need to make podcast equipment more expensive because otherwise you listen to us for 40 minutes.
We need to raise the price of podcast equipment because we have been yapping.
I think people just got to live. Like, use social media, use podcasts as a resource, but not your end all be all. Don't just
people
live through the
be
screen.
Main characters so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. They want to be the point of attention. They want to be, look at me. Like, I saw a post that was like main character energy, and I can't remember the details of it, so I'm not going to misquote it. But like, it was talking about, everybody wants to be the main character so bad now.
See, I don't, and I think that's how I end up in those situations and stuff. Like I would rather create cool stuff for other people than for myself, but then I'm always there. Like it's interesting.
You're better than me because I want the views and clicks.
Bro,
Okay, because that's how you get the sponsors, and that's how you can make a living.
I want the sponsors, but yeah, I agree with you. Views and clicks.
Views and clicks. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get to the point where like, you know, you're Mr. Beast level that you can't even. He was on a podcast, I think it was like a year ago, but he was like, I went to this grocery store and there was like somebody that noticed me and they were like taking a photo and then they put it on their Snapchat story. And then before you know it, like once you take the first photo, you can't be there more than 10 minutes because then you're going to have a swarm around you.
Mm-hmm.
So I never want to be at that level.
No.
Honestly, like 100+ million subs, 150, 200 million subscribers. I do not want to be there.
I don't want to be there. I would love to manage those people.
But for now, yeah, no, maybe I am a little clout hungry. Kind of, you have to be at the beginning. You got to be clout hungry.
I would say for me, it's more like I just give me the credit where it's due and don't take all. Like if you get inspiration from something I do, just like, you know, give a shout out, like, or say, hey, I was inspired.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
inspired by this.
or like, you know, I'll talk to you or Lando, like, hey, I'm thinking about adding this to my video. I see you're doing that. Is that cool? Like, just run it past me. Obviously, we're like, yeah. Like,
yeah, don't just like immediately assume that just because, especially here in St. Louis, which we will save you the details of that.
Future episode.
That's a future episode. I do a State of the Creator Economy address every year. Like I'm president or something. I don't know, but I talk about things. And this has been honestly a repetitive topic of like, stop taking inspiration from each other, stop copying each other, stop ripping each other off. St. Louis is not that big of a city. If one of us does something, it's not hard for most of us to notice. I mean, that's how we were able to get in. Like, honestly, I look back and I'm like, damn, I got in some pretty crazy rooms for somebody that only had like 1,500 followers on Instagram back then.
Mm-hmm.
And like, not even 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. St. Louis is not a hard city to like get noticed. But with that said, like, don't be original.
Yeah, and I think,
you know,
the reason a lot of companies still work with us or reach out to us is because, I don't say, not a lot, but when they do, it's they know what they're going to get. They know we're consistent. Yeah. They know we've kept a good name. They know what we're about. And a lot of times they look for that over that, you know, dude, if you were to get started today, you can like on at least, you know, even in this scene, you can grow to, you know, 10,000 followers in like 3-4 months, if that.
I'd argue that it's easier to start today
than
it was back then. Because I started making content back in like, I started my Instagram account like late 2018, like late fall. And it was growing pretty steadily. But like, honestly, I think if I would have started today, I would have had more success. Because now there's also more people watching.
What I would say too, it's like, for me, my big thing was showing people what can be done out of here.
Yeah.
And so, which has been good, but it's also interesting because like I'll do something that's really, really unique and different. And then it's like people will come right in it right behind me. And it's like, let me do that. Can I do that exact same thing? Or companies will see what I do instead of hiring me. They'll like, hey, Braden, how much would you charge for this? And I would tell them, which is in it a lot. And they'll just hire someone else to do it for free. And so it's like, I'm trying to show people what can be done because nowadays you don't have to move to coastal city. Or I want to say you don't have to, but I understand why people do. You can do things out of here, but the way St. Louis just they just have to treat creatives a lot better. And it's not like a sense of entitlement. It's like, you could just say it's business, right? We are helping people come to the city. We're helping promote these businesses. And
we're essentially an extension of the tourism board.
Yeah.
Just independent
but they won't
creators.
support us.
No.
Like, I mean, I'll say they aren't supporting us. And we're the one,
No,
like we had
not right now. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and that one person told us like, hey, do you guys work for the city? You guys are really selling me on this. The person when we were on the riverfront,
Yes, somebody was like, yeah, do you guys work for the city? Like, do you guys? No,
I can't even fix
don't.
I
can't even get a response to emails from a lot of businesses here. Where I'm like, there's this concept that like we could pull off that would be, and I would even outline like, here's the benefit for not just you, but like your business, the city, your visibility, your brand, your notoriety. This is why you should do this. And then they're like,
It's not in the budget, but then they hire someone to do that. So
And
that's
then
why we
they-
got to be careful
yes.
on giving out ideas.
That's why I've had, whenever I talk about like I'm not a St. Louis creator anymore, I've had a lot of mixed reception to it. Some people are like, well, are you not about the community anymore? I'm totally for the community.
You're very much for the community.
I'm a city resident. I support a lot of businesses in the city. I do most of my like everyday shopping, all this eating out, all this like purchasing of things in the city.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much so a city person, but whenever you get disrespected so many times and like people try to take advantage of you so many times and they try to take your intellectual property, once that happens enough, unfortunately you have to like set a boundary and say, yeah, sorry, I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Because it's happened so many times.
Too many times.
Been very nice about it.
A lot of these programs that you see were started by us
Mm-hmm.
that are now super popular, but we don't see the benefit from
You know, they'll reach out and they'll ask us to do like 10 things, and then like I'm happy to help any local business. I really am. Like, I'm a resource. I understand St. Louis marketing, social media, people, right? I understand those things. But when you start asking for very detailed stuff, and I have an agency myself, I tell people, like, you know, if we have it in the budget, hey, this is what we have. Here you go, X amount of dollars. If I don't, like, hey, you know, go experience it. Please, you know, don't try to spend over 150 or something. But when you tell people you got to do all of these things, and then we just say, hey, can I get one more thing, one more appetizer or drink so I can showcase it like this? Also, can I have a gift card to come back and actually experience it? Which is a very reasonable thing to do, not only as a person, like, you know, it's showing real community, because we're going out there and we are highlighting this for your client. And so it's like, we're taking the time, you know, they're not paying our phone bills. We're taking the time to like highlight this place for you, help your client out. And all we're asking for is, if we want to go with our girlfriends, our, you know, someone in our family, a friend, like, can we just go and also enjoy it? Because like, otherwise we're going there to work for you for free.
Exactly.
Now, if a restaurant reach out, hey, you know, we need some help, reach out to me. But it's like some of these other entities, we're not even asking a lot. Because then when you do mention it to them, it's like, oh, I thought, you know, we're here to support local. It's like, we're also local businesses.
We totally are.
We're
like,
local
if
businesses.
you think about it, we're essentially advertising channels. That's what we are, because we like what people see on our pages. They look at, they really recognize what we're posting. They pay attention to the details. They pay attention to what we say. That holds value because we have the power of influence to get people in the door, to get people thinking about, oh, maybe I do need to go there. Wait, we can go on a date night there. Or, you know, maybe this would be good for whenever my buddies come in town, like we can go hang out there. Go grab a pint. I don't know. You got to understand that we are just an extension of your marketing and your advertising budget. We're just another channel. Just think of us as like a similar vein to traditional media, like magazines, publications, web articles,
help us help
television. You know, like we're like, I'll just be candid. We have a studio. This is rented. These lights, there's 2 giant lights here. Had to buy those. Boom arms, including the microphones. These Shure SM7Bs.
Yeah.
They cost money. Table. The mics back here, the cameras, the lenses, the memory cards, the tripods.
Time to edit.
The freaking millions of squares of foam that are currently on the wall. Like all of this in the editing, the computer, the software. It's not a hobby at that point.
And we want to help.
We really do.
But it's like, what you're going to see with us is like, the way St. Louis has always been ran, it's always been like, all right, well, if you're not in with us, you're not, like, we're not going to let you succeed in our city. But the beautiful thing about the time that we're in, we can create our own stuff. We can create our own media outlets. As much as we want to work with, you know, local companies to help even advertise on our channels. And I'm very fortunate. I have really great partners, but I'm thinking just overall, it's like, look, and I say this to my following all the time. I want to work with local companies, even the local big companies that are in town. Whatever we can do to advertise, I will try. But when you start seeing me work with companies outside of St. Louis, everybody in the city, everyone that follows me should understand that I tried. The places that I've supported for so long, I have tried to work with them, and it wasn't reciprocated. And I don't even ask for a lot, like money or anything. Just like, hey, can we sponsor this, sponsor that? Because what do? I pay a creator to help me. I'm keeping my money local instead of paying Mark Zuckerberg for ads.
Yeah.
But it's like when you see you working with places out of town, we tried, y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
on
that's
the
it.
record, we tried.
We
Like
tried.
a lot of these opportunities that you see with, I'll even mention one, the Hertz thing that I did with the Tesla. I pitched that to a couple local businesses first because, for a bit of context, my car was stolen. I was looking for, some way to make content out of it. So I was like, okay, let me see what an EV is like here in St. Louis, or like I can go to X number of restaurants and do all this stuff in this car sponsored by this local business. I tried pitching that to local businesses and none of them were on board with it. But somehow a national brand, Hertz, said, yeah, we can make that happen.
Yep.
We try. Okay. We try. It's just, if we approach local businesses with these ideas and these concepts and they say no, we're not going to keep like pushing, because no means no. Like, it just,
Respecting your boundary.
we're
right?
respecting your boundary
And your budget.
but we've tried. And there have been deals that I've done with national brands that have been, I've asked for a lot less, like a fraction of what I would charge a national brand for the same deliverables. And a local business will be like, yeah, no, that's not in our budget. We're not going to do that. But then a national brand doesn't even bat an eye at it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we're trying to support local. And at the same time, though, we kind of are indirectly, because we're bringing those opportunities to St. Louis and developing the creator economy and actually building a foundation that other people can build upon, which is, I'd argue, is something that we've been doing since we started our pages.
Yeah.
But that's not really talked about enough, in my opinion.
No, it's not. And
We try.
we say we're trying, and I am trying, but I will also say I've tried. So I'm open to working with companies outside of St. Louis. And I will always, I spend I buy like over 90% of my food now. And I'll still support those businesses in that way.
Yeah.
But I would love to have it be, hey, this series is sponsored by this St. Louis company.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's just like the old school legacy St. Louis stuff that they're doing. I don't know if maybe they just don't know, because anybody can tell you with advertising and marketing how much it makes sense.
Yeah.
You go to a baseball game and everything's advertised everywhere.
You can't look anywhere and not.
But everything's
no advertisements in your field of vision.
And it's crazy because like literally Blessed, powered by company from St. Louis, it's so crazy. And
You could have your logo here on the microphone, so that every time that somebody is looking at us, you see your logo right there in frame.
But it's like you like, I'm at a point where I don't want to sell like that. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
If we can't get it here, we'll try to work with someone outside. Actually, a lot of them they'll approach me, but then also, I'll create my own companies. I'll create my own endeavors. I'll draw. I'll get people when I have their attention. I'll throw them to this taco festival I'm helping out that gets 16,000 people. I'll get 2,200 people to a pop-up bar that I put on. If that's what it takes, because then you know what? When people come in the pop-up bar, that's revenue for that local businesses, the local vendors, so we can make sure we're actually keeping it all local. I get paid for my services, and guess what? Then I pay the videographer for stuff, or I pay other people for stuff. So if we have to do that our way, I say if, now that we're doing that like that, I feel good. We just got to get more people on that page. We're really trying, and we've tried.
Yeah, we're trying to change the narrative.
It's 2024. Y'all got to get with the program.
Seriously.
And
whenever we talk to people that are from other major cities, they're like, whoa. Like, we had a conversation with somebody from out of the country recently, telling them about, how the St. Louis influencer scene works and how the creator economy works. And they were asking us questions, and they were like, we would just respond with how we honestly see it, which is transparency. And they were like, what? I would have imagined that St. Louis would be further than that.
It's a $20 billion industry.
20 billion.
And the way St. Louis feels, because this is how it's always been, they've only allowed a few entities to survive and run,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but luckily, you know, we're built different, but it's,
Resilience.
yeah, like we're doing it for different reasons. We're not doing it for a quick buck or a quick clout kind of thing, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a $20 billion industry and this is why I no longer want to work with certain entities or certain things in this town, is because I've mentioned it. And if we do meet, maybe it's an NDA because they'll take your ideas and run with it, but literally drawing out how we can build a creator economy. And then they are like, oh, wow, okay, great. That's great. And then they don't want to, you know, help sponsor that thing that's going to draw in a lot more people to their stuff.
Yep.
But they'll do the watered down version of that.
Yeah, they'll do the 0 sugar, gluten-free version of what we want to do.
And that's them. Because I'm over it. I'm from St. Louis. I'm going to highlight my city. And the thing that always sticks with me is what Murphy Lee said. He's like, because I was like, why did you guys wear the jerseys backwards back in the day? You know? And he's like, we represent the people. We represent the player more so than the team. And I think that the thing here in St. Louis is a lot of people, we represent the other people in this city more than we actually do with St. Louis. Because St. Louis, there's always so much crap we have to deal with. And when, like, every so often I have to watch that clip, I need to release that episode. But when he said that, I was like, that makes so much sense. You represent that person. Like, we know so many good people that keep us around here. But there are so many systems in the structure of St. Louis that it's like, guys, look, we're trying to bring you up to times. Like, we don't have to have everything so watered down and get the basic. Like, we could have cool stuff. Like, St. Louis deserves nice things. We don't have to just settle. But, you know, it's crazy. I get to talk to some people that are expanding out of St. Louis, and they, you know, go to another city and they're treated like a king or queen. In St. Louis, they have to, like, write up a whole proposal and then get told no by someone, and then that someone will hire someone else to do it.
Or they'll take that and pitch it to another entity.
Yeah.
And then they do it with them.
Done with it.
I'll be honest.
I'm done with it, dude.
A lot of really good treatment outside of St. Louis, too.
Oh, man.
A lot.
Yep.
It's like, it almost feels like a toxic relationship, because it's like, I'm here, I'm loyal to St. Louis, but at the same time, they're like, if I was just after opportunities, I would have been out of here by now.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would I stay here? Because there's other developed scenes in other cities.
Yeah.
Like, I would have moved to Chicago by now, LA, New York, Atlanta, any of those places, even Kansas City. I would have moved there.
There are a lot of people that look up to us, though, too, and that's what helps keep me going sometimes. Like, people look up.
Yeah.
Like,
they look to us for inspiration. Sometimes a little too much so, but they look to us for inspiration.
Go out, create. Just do it. Just don't ever wear anything Nike without just doing it. Sometimes I don't want to do something.
Damn, the Blazers.
Bro.
The Blazers, bro.
Sometimes
you got the kicks on too.
Some days I'll throw on Adidas because I'm like, man, I ain't doing it.
I ain't about doing it today. I'm just chilling. I'm vibing.
Yeah.
No, but with that said, we are looking for studio interns if you want to learn any of this stuff. There's a science here. It's not just hit subscribe. It's not just that. It's a lifestyle.
Facts.
But I think, I'm sorry, I had to like burp, but then it just didn't come out. So I'm actually going to end the episode here because A, we've been yapping and podcast equipment needs to still be increased in price. And B, that camera's almost dead. So
boom.
So I think that's a good stopping point. So thank you, Braden, for having this wicked conversation with me about height, about light skin tendencies, and then about St. Louis and being a creator and opportunities and like the stuff that people ain't paying attention to. Like, I feel like they're sleeping on us for sure. Like, specifically us. I feel like we're slept on influences in the city just because.
And that's their loss.
It is.
At this point,
like, just don't recognize it goes for really any relationship you have with anything. It's like, recognize what you have while you have it, and like, you're gonna miss it if it does when it's gone. Not saying we're like moving out of St. Louis, but if that does happen, like, don't be like, oh yeah, all right, I love Braden's work. I love what Braden does. I love Braden's videos. Or, oh, Dante, you make all those cool YouTube videos. Like, oh my gosh, I've always, come on. Show love to people and give them their flowers while they're around.
And for any creator that you don't, like, let's say you don't have the opportunities to do things and you're pitching to companies and this and that, it's a lot more work. It's a lot more hustle, but If they're not going to support you, just know there is a community out there for you. So you got to just put more work in and create your own.
And I'm not going to fault anybody for going to other cities because, like,
I can't anymore,
I
man.
get it.
I really can't.
I get it 100%. Like,
I can't.
Like I said, I've received such good treatment from other cities.
Same.
It's
Man,
just the unfortunate truth. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and be like, oh yeah, St. Louis has been the best. No.
St. Louis. What
St.
high school
Louis.
you go to again? Right.
Fuck you. All right. Thank you for tuning into the episode. That was aggressive. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
tuning
having
into
me.
the episode. We'll see you in the next one. And yell cut, Caden.